speaking instead today. So I'm Louise Kilner, I'm one of the account managers here in the brand new Manchester office, which we opened 2 weeks ago. And I'm here to discuss Darktrace. Darktrace is the world-leading AI enterprise response tool. And I'm just here to talk a little bit about who we are, what we do, why we do it, and why you need it, essentially. It's not working, so I'm just going to go manual. So a little bit of background on us. We were founded in 2013 by some very clever people. Some guys from GCHQ, head of mathematics from Cambridge, machine learning and AI experts. And essentially they saw this new way of monitoring networks, of understanding what's going on within your network, and realized that there needed to be a change in those traditional endpoint firewalls mechanisms, which just unfortunately miss a lot of things. So still a relatively new company, but in that time we have had over 7,000 deployments. We have opened office number 33 in Manchester last week, and we have grown to over 750 employees. And this is from one product that does what it says it needs to do, and essentially has launched us from success to success. A number of awards we've received as well in a short period of time, and one of those is the Cnbc Disruptor 50 list. And this is a number of companies who are changing the way that the world works. On that list, I think companies like Airbnb, Uber, and just shifting that sort of vision of the way the world works. These are just a few of our deployments. This isn't a big flashy slide to say, wow, look at the amazing companies that we work with. This is a big flashy slide to say, look at the variety of companies that we work with. Look at the different number in scale, in size, in industry. We currently work with every industry that you can think of. Every vertical imaginable, we're in there somewhere. And this is because the machine learning plugs in the exact same software in every environment and delivers different results in every single environment. So why Darktrace? Why did it come about? Why do we need it? So Darktrace, the guys that founded Darktrace, essentially looked at the way that networks are changing, they're moving, they're shifting to this amazing world of SaaS, of cloud, being able to access your information from wherever you are, however you need it, which is fantastic for being able to work from Barbados, being on holiday and still being able to access your emails. I know everybody loves doing that. But it's rubbish for IT people to be able to actually detect what you're doing with information when you've downloaded it, and how to kind of track and trace what people are actually doing with information once it's on their laptop. The other side of things, so we've got that visibility aspect. We've also got this new landscape of threats. You know, coding is being taught in schools nowadays. The way that coding is done, the number of people doing it, it means that it's getting quicker and quicker. And unfortunately, it means that the legacy-based approaches, so your endpoint protections, firewalls, based on rules and signatures, looking for what they already know and understand, are going to be outpaced by things that are new, by things that haven't been seen before. And ultimately, it means that something is going to get through that spot, that endpoint, that firewall, and we need to detect them when they do, because these kind of lead to the major malfunctions that, you know, your CISO, your MD does not want to be on the front page of the news talking about. So why is Darktrace different? How are we different? So the enterprise immune system is based off the same principles as the human immune system. Your body knows what's normal for you. It knows what you can and can't get away with. It knows whether you can go out and drink 10 pints and feel okay the next day. My body will give me a massive headache and tell me I did something wrong. My body knows whether I can go out and go for a 10-mile run and feel all right the next day. It will not. It will tell me my legs are sore. It will tell me that something is wrong. The enterprise immune system works in the same way. It recognizes what is normal to a system and tells you when something is abnormal in its most simple sense. So we track and trace, understand, dig into kind of every little component of your network, and pick up, recognize what is normal to be able to tell you when something is abnormal. We do this with machine learning. This machine learning means that we are scalable to all those different environments, scalable out to your various different SaaS environments. And we do it all in real time. We're not telling you something happened 10 weeks ago. We're not telling you something happened 10 minutes ago. We are telling you something is happening now, that you need to look into it and that you need to figure out a little bit more about it. Darktrace, the enterprise immune system, we also detect all forms of cyber threat. Because we are not based on any rules or signatures, we are based purely on your network, on what is normal to your network. We can then spot what is abnormal to your network, whatever form this is coming in, whether it is a new piece of ransomware, So for example, WannaCry, whether it is somebody within your network trying to exfiltrate data, trying to bring that information in together and trying to ship it out to some external rare location. We are detecting all forms of cyber threat because we have no preconceptions, we have no rules or signatures, we are simply based off your network. And we deploy into every environment. We're giving you the full coverage to what's going on in the entirety of your network and being able to recognize what is normal there and what is abnormal. You might also notice that we can fight back autonomously. So we have an additional product that uses the machine learning that powers the enterprise immune system. Antigena sort of finishes off that immune system cycle very nicely. And Antigena, when it recognizes an anomaly, when that anomaly is potentially threatening to your system, Antigena can stop, block, freeze, prevent that data from being exfiltrated, prevent that malware from scanning any further ports, and lock that in so that a human has time to go in, investigate in more detail before it's stretched any further into your network. So this says thousands of unknown threats are caught every day. I think it's something like in our 7,000 deployments, we've picked up nearly 100,000 threats. You know, these are major multinational corporations who we go into and we speak to and they say, yeah, no, we don't need Darktrace. You know, we've got the next-gen firewalls, we've got the highest security, you know, we've got this massive SOC of 100 people managing our networks. And we still go in and we find that somebody has built their office and built a fake floor into their office with a load of servers that are Bitcoin mining underneath their floor. And they had no idea. We go into networks, we go into casinos in LA, or Las Vegas even, go into a casino, have a little a trial around the network, and we pick up that there is a lovely fish tank on the casino floor, very pretty fish tank. It's monitoring saline levels, oxygen levels, feeding the fish, making sure the fish are all happy, which is fantastic. But then we pick up that there is this small outgoing connection to Norway. We go, what kind of connections do you have in Norway? And they go, absolutely none. And we say, okay, then why is there sort of 3 megabytes of data going out to Norway every single day? Because somebody sat on the casino floor, used that fish tank to get into the internal network and start sort of playing around and seeing where they could go. You know, we deal with a lot of companies every day, various different scales, sizes, and we always find something interesting. You know, an energy company that has a beacon out to Russia that probably isn't meant to be there. And Darktrace picks up those things that you don't expect to be there. You know, Steam solutions are incredible, but they're not recognizing every IP across your network. They're sort of aggregating the data that you're asking it to bring together. So it's great just to have that full visibility over your network into what's actually going on. So Antigena, I mentioned it briefly earlier. You know, we live in a world today where threats are coming in and they can get from a computer, from a USB drive into, you know, your files within minutes. Having a security team there that can catch that in minutes, I mean, if you've got one, congratulations, I'm incredibly impressed. But so often they are being outpaced. Security teams are incredible, but you need something there just in case. And Antigena is that product. So Antigena, if it spots an anomalous behavior, anomalous movement, it will stop, block, freeze, prevent that from moving any further. I would love to jump into our UI and give you a demo. Feel free to come over to our standard and I'll give you a full demo of how Antigena works because the speed of it is incredibly impressive. It's so intuitive. It uses, you know, the AI that's kind of really powering Darktrace to jump in and make sure that humans have time to be able to deal with that threat as and when. I think that's the end. So, I mean, if anybody has any questions, feel free. If you don't want to put your hand up, feel free to come over and speak to us outside. We are just in the corner. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed.
Louise, thank you very much indeed. An interesting insight. Again, you'll be back for the Q&A session after topic. Lovely, thank you.